Now, after a good run of reviewing movies I actually liked with the odd mediocre entries, I started to feel like maybe I was getting a little too comfortable and that maybe a bit of harshness might balance things out. And the movies that seemed just right for that was both Terminator Genny-Sis and Dark Fart. But before I go through this shitstorm formed by both movies, I think I should quickly go through the previous entries of the Terminator series. The first movie from 1984 was a surprise box office smash with likeable characters, intense chases, a clever plot that involved time travel, love and the fight for survival, while also making a thick accented bodybuilder into one of the biggest movie stars ever.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The 1991 sequel, Judgment Day, was a great example of how to take what made the first one great and turn it up to 11.
Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
It ramped up the action, delivered some of the greatest chases, shootouts and special effects put to film, evolving the story, giving us a more dangerous adversary in the T-1000 and making a gun-toting badass out of returning character Sarah Connor. Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines was a mediocre sequel that couldn't reach the heights of the first two classics, but was saved thanks to Arnie himself, some awesome action and that bleak, ballsy ending. 2007 gave us the TV spin-off of The Sarah Connor Chronicles, which ignored Terminator 3 and while a little hit and miss at times, still delivered a decent continuation of the lore. 2009 saw the release of Terminator Salvation, and while it was a noble attempt to take the franchise in a new direction, it just didn't pan out as we thought it would. All thanks to a bland script, flat characters, boring action, and...
Then why the fuck are you walking right through? Da-da-da-da like this in the background. What the fuck is it with you?
Boy, you were gonna owe a fortune to the swear jar.
that. Though praise for the late Anton Yelchin as the young Kyle Reese. Rest in peace, man. But nothing could prepare us for the vomit-inducing, diarrhea-unleashing, vinegar-tasting jizz that were to follow. Dear fucking God, let's get through this shit then, shall we? Released in 2015, Terminator Genny-Sis tried to take something that was already great and erase it from existence. Everything great that happened in the first film, from the well-written plot and well-acted characters, was suddenly replaced with planks of wood. The plot basically revolves around Kyle Reese going back into the past again to protect Sarah Connor again, only this time to find the timeline has been skewed, and now for some reason they have to go into the future and stop Genny-Sis.
Genny-Sis?
Guess who the Terminator chasing them is?
John,
Hi, Mom.
how can you be here?
What are you doing?
John!
What have they done to my son?
Survival's what you taught me.
Sorry, but who the fuck thought this idea would work? As well as the pure idiocy of the creatively bankrupt to lazily cash in a once great franchise, the entire cast is badly miscast, and that is putting it nicely. Amelia Clarke, despite being the spitting image of a young Linda Hamilton, sadly unconvinces in the role. She never comes across as a hardened soldier. Even when holding a gun she looks uncomfortable. Sorry love, you seem like a decent lass, but it's hard to top this. But I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Even she hated the fucking film too. You could not have picked a worse choice for Kyle Reese. Reese was a tough, resilient, battle-scarred soldier, lost in time, struggling to adjust to his surroundings, but he was brave, resourceful, and was willing to lay down his life to protect humanity, and most of all, the woman he loved. Jai Courtney just comes across as another grunt. He lacked any of the complexity being displayed in the first film. But to be honest, I don't blame Jai. He was given shitty material to work with, and it's a shame as I've been hearing he's actually good in other things. But it was the butchering of the character that got me. Having to see Reese go from this
So much pain.
Pain can be controlled. You're just disconnected.
So you feel nothing?
To whoever this was supposed to be.
If you're to kill you, stay in the truck.
Not only that, but somehow the filmmakers seem to think that if we add more time travel, make the plot more convoluted, turn the actual human saviour into a villain, it will improve things.
You fools! You idiots!
Jason Clarke, I liked you in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, but man, you deserve better than just being reduced to another generic Terminator with generic lines, and the fact you got to play John Connor only to be butchered worse than a Yorkshire prostitute in the 1970s really says a lot. The only thing I can say that was decent was the awesome opening. J.K. Simmons, and of course, Arnie returning. What can I say? The man practically owned the film just by appearing in it. Even with the cringy dialogue and lame jokes, he somehow makes it work. Sadly, that doesn't excuse this sad excuse for a movie. The plot was full of more holes than a bullet-ridden T-800. John Connor was reduced to the same treatment as Mr. Phelps in Mission Impossible. The action was a CGI-cluttered bore-fest. J.K. Simmons and Matt Smith were wasted, and the humour...
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys.
This was the first appearance from Arnie since 2003, and despite him being the best thing in it, he still couldn't save what was a lazy, mind-raping excuse for a cash-in.
That is a very immature response.
And whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for watching, and do remember to like and subscribe. But right now, that's me done, and I'm off to the pub. See you next time for Terminator Dark Fart.
Sorry. Been building up for a while. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about this.